Yeah.
Woo! Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. We got all of the badasses. They have returned, the Versus crew, baby. That's how we do it. And it's perfect tonight, Mr. Master Chaos himself, Jose Prendez. That's right. This was his pick, and it's perfect.
It was.
It's perfect because it falls into this weekly theme of badassity called Werewolf Week.
Sybil Danny. Yum, yum.
Yeah.
Right. We got werewolves versus vamps tonight, baby. That's right. That's right. Let's see. Let's do the quick roll call. Let's see who is here really quick. Thanks again, everybody watching right now, hanging out with us. We got Jake Hall in the house. The Monkey. That's right. Shogun 76. What is going on? He says, the Monkey says, "You're so cool, Brewster." That's right. VA 202. What's going down? Who else we got here? Dingo, the Sexy Sumo. Fluffy Gamer says he likes turtles. That's right. And Brandon Wayne in the house. Todd Johnson and Will Arez. That's right. They are here. Thanks again, everybody showing up to hang out with us as we love doing what we love doing, and that's talking horror films tonight. Hold on, let me get the banner up. Let's get it cracking. Get it going. That's right. That's right. Let's see. Who do we have here tonight? You know them. You love them. That's right. First up, DJ Anubis. That's right. He knows his metal. He knows his movies. And he knows his lichens. That's right. Welcome back, DJ. That's right.
Thanks, sir.
And we got actor himself, the legend, Tony, Mr. Tony of the Dead.
Hello.
Return. Glad to have you back, brother. That's right.
Good
And Scott Hansen, we'll see if he pops in tonight. Most likely that guy's busy. So hopefully we'll get Scott back on here in the future. But we got the motherfucking Gear Brothers, son. That's right. From the Retaliators, baby. Throwing it up, representing gangster style. That's
They
right.
both did that at the same time too. That was
I know, right?
That was epic.
It's choreographed. It's just
That's right. That's right. Screenwriters of The Retaliators, which premiered yesterday. It's been premiering all kinds of places, theaters, but yesterday we had one, and it was down in Hollywood, right, Jeff?
Yeah, I was at the Ricardo Montalban Theater on
Yeah.
Yeah.
So congratulations, you guys, man.
on VOD everywhere tomorrow.
Woo! Oh yeah, purchase.
Yes,
sure. And in tune of the weekly movie theater debuts, that's right, premieres. We also had The Headless Horseman. That's right, baby. Directed by my man Jose Prendez. Also starring some werewolf royalty. We got Kate Hodge, we got Michael Paré, and everybody knows Sean Whalen and many other talented actors are in the film. I don't know who's this dude next to them.
Yeah, I see the mohawk going on there. I know that guy.
Who's that? Who's
I
that?
love it.
That is true. That's right. They were both werewolves. That's kind of crazy. I didn't even put that together. That's right.
That's right. That's right. And you guys can watch Headless Horseman on Vudu right now. And I put the description in the box. Excuse me. I put the link in the description box below. So you
and
guys...
Apple TV as well. If you have Apple TV, I think it's free on there. So there you go.
Oh shit! There you go, guys. There you go. That's right. So make sure you guys check out the movie and show support, baby. That's right. Tonight, Vamps versus Werewolves. We got Fright Night Part 2, Electric Boogaloo versus An American Werewolf in Paris. One of these I've never seen before, and the other one I've only seen once, and I don't remember it fondly. Did that change over time? Well, we'll go ahead and jump right into it. So we will start with Fright Night Part 2. Came out in 1988, directed by Tommy Lee Wallace. Don't forget, guys, these movies have been out for a while. This will be spoiler talk. Quick plot synopsis for those who have not seen the film. Charlie Brewster and Peter Vincent must face more vampires that are out for revenge. And that's pretty much the plot right there. Roddy McDowall returns. You got William Ragsdale returning as well. And Julie Carmen is also pretty awesome in this. I enjoyed the leading ladies in both of these films. They brought it. They were both fun to watch. All right. So this is one of those films that I kept forgetting existed for me. I'll kick it off. I was like, oh yeah, there is a Fright Night Part 2. and I forget about it. Right. And then, I just years go by again. And I'm like, oh yeah, there is a Fright Night Part 2.
Didn't they actually remake the second one too?
Yep.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
I heard it.
Well,
really
both
bad.
of them are bad. I didn't like
Colin Farrell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Colin Farrell was in the first one, and the
In the
second
first one.
one was basically a remake of Part 2, but so bad.
worse.
So bad.
Yeah, like really bad, really bad. Yeah, so I'm surprised. I enjoyed this. I had fun with Fright Night Part 2. I mean, obviously it's not as good as the first, but I don't know. I kind of feel in a way it's a little underrated. It almost feels like a hidden gem, even though it's been out for forever since 1988. But yeah, I'll definitely talk about some things I like really quickly because we got a big panel of guests, so I don't want to talk too much. The only thing I didn't really buy the whole. Well, after the crazy shit that from the first movie, it was all in my head. Vampires don't exist. Vampires don't exist, and it was just some crazy serial killer guy. I was like, no, movie, you're starting off at a bad start. Goddamn it! I didn't really buy that. I would bought it more if he acted and played that role for others around him. But when he's away from the psychiatrist, he still believes in vamps. That would have made more sense than him like just trying to, whatever the plot synopsis that they tried to create. Yeah, I didn't really like that much. But hey, you get some wacky moments in here. I was not expecting the wackiness. We get vamps on roller skates in this, right? I was like, shit. The vamp was like, fuck it. No, I can fly around, but no, I'm a roller skate because it's the motherfucking 80s, son.
I love it.
Okay,
Best.
that's right. And I enjoyed big, gigantic, huge as fuck Brian Thompson, kind of playing a scaled back kind of Renfield character. Eating. I know everything is huge on this guy. He's just huge. But yeah, I had fun with his character, kind of being a scaled back version. And the whole movie, I was like, why does this guy look familiar? And I was like, oh shit, it's the werewolf from Monster Squad, right?
Yep.
So the cast in this, the villains, was kind of what made the movie fun for me. I mean, obviously, come on. As much as we, as the lead in here does a fantastic job, all you think about is this guy. You know, that no one's going to top this guy's performance. But in this sequel, I thought she was fantastic. I thought she was really good, man. And the whole time I'm like, why does she look familiar? And I was like, oh shit, In the Mouth of Madness, baby.
Mhm.
I was like, yeah, she's in that. I knew I recognized her. But yeah, she was great. The lead actress was great, and it was fun. It was fun seeing the characters back together again. And this is a legitimate sequel. They did the best they could to make an actual sequel. But yeah, there's some fun action at the end, some fun practical effects. I enjoyed Fright Night Part 2. I'm very happy you recommended this. Will that be my pick? I don't know. We'll have to find out towards the end. All right, Darren, thoughts on Fright Night Part 2?
Well, it's funny, Samurai. It's like you stole the words out of my brain. I was sitting there and I told Jeff, I was like, I know I've seen Fright Night 2, but I completely forgot that this movie existed. And it's just weird that, especially that it came out in '88, which I'm just such a fan of that era. I've seen most of everything, and I love Fright Night. And so I was like, and I know I've seen it, but I just could not remember it at all. So it was actually a treat to go back and rewatch it, because I agree. I agree with you. I liked it much more than I remembered liking it, and I really think that the directing is good, the cinematography is good, and it's got that real legit high quality 80s feel. Like the production doesn't feel skimpy, but it's just got a lot of character. What I found interesting is not too overboard, but not my favorite vampire movie. My favorite movie of all time is, and has always been, The Lost Boys. That's my jam. That's my jam right there. I watch it obsessively, ridiculously often, and I just love that film. What was interesting was there seemed to be some Lost Boys influence in this, that I was surprised. They were using a lot of the POV shots, which Joel Schumacher said for Lost Boys they did as a budgetary issue. They were, the way it was all, the Lost Boys was all storyboarded out. We were supposed to actually see all of the vampires flying throughout the movie, but then because of budget cuts or whatever, they couldn't do it. So all of those shots had to be, that's why you see those high crane shots that dip down. And it ended up, just like Jaws, like other movies, it ended up being a real happy accident for that film, because when you think of The Lost Boys, you think of those amazing, cool, swooping shots. Well, that was all done. You don't actually see any of them fly until the end, right? What was interesting was I noticed, wow, it's got that total Joel Schumacher POV shots, and they even had the very first, the first time you see it was it was the lead, but it was the couple in the car, which was the exact same first swoop shot you see in The Lost Boys. And then the other funny thing too was also even that musical intro, that dun 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 dun, which sounds a lot like the Cry Little Sister beginning theme song. So what's interesting, they're only a year apart. Lost Boys is 87, this is 88. So it's very likely it actually wasn't influenced by it, because I know how long it can take to make a movie. So it just, it got me really wondering if, if that played a part in it. But Yes, Todd, I agree. I agree very much. But yeah, not to sound like I'm just mirroring what you said, Samurai, but I just was I was entertained. I liked the roller skate shot. I literally, I was laughing out loud. I thought I liked a little bit of the dry humor, the nails breaking in the window, and the makeup was kind of funky. Again, I felt like the monster makeup felt a little Lost Boys to me too. So I was actually digging the similarities. Obviously, as you said, it's no original Fright Night. It's nowhere near as good as that. It certainly doesn't touch Lost Boys. But I honestly do feel like this is an underrated gem. If you haven't seen it, if you like vampire movies, if you like 80s movies, I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's one of those movies kind of fun to throw on. Yeah, like we were talking last time, kind of like a good movie to throw on during a party vibe, and just sort of laugh at some of the cheesiness, but it's a lot more fun than I remembered it.
Come on, Vinegar Syndrome or Kino Lorber. Come on.
Oh, we've been that's been on the list for a long time. Everyone wants a Fright Night 2 release for sure.
Yeah, I mean, come
on. And because I don't ever see it anywhere, I had just thought, oh, wow, that must just be one of those disaster sequels. But it's fun. I thought it was a fun movie.
I think one of my favorite moments that made me laugh. You did the roller skates was funny.
Yeah,
but the other scene where she takes over the show. Our lead antagonist takes over the Fright Night TV show, and they fire Peter Vincent. And then Peter Vincent shows up on set, just walking in front of the camera crew, just walking in front of everybody live to try to stab her. I was rolling, man. I was like, wow, that was very, very planned out, very well there, Peter. But it's stuff like that kind of made me laugh. All right,
bowling, the bowling scene is a classic.
Oh, the bowling, yeah, bowling is one of my favorites.
Right.
It came out of nowhere, bro.
Man. Montage.
It made me want to go bowling.
Or the body goes into it,
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude!
Funny fast fact. That is literally my brother Jeff's bowling technique. Turn around, bowl backwards. That's his move.
Nice.
Nice.
He's not lying. Yeah.
Anubis, thoughts on Fright Night, buddy?
Well, this is the first time I had seen it since way back, so it's been a long time. But I'm not as big a fan of this one as I was the first one. I think Julie Carmen really steals this movie like big time. And you mentioned the when she takes over the show, that dance scene is like amazing. I wish they'd actually have that as a show now. I'd watch that all day.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I know.
But I don't know. It seems like they were just kind of going back to the same well with McDowell and the lead character. I wasn't feeling it as much this time around. Seems a little dated. I mean, there is some genuinely funny moments in it, but just not enough to carry for me. So I wasn't as big a fan of this film as the first one.
All right, copy that. Tony.
Yeah, I actually never saw this before. I've owned it, but I've never watched it until last night. And I think I only ever watched the very up to like where she comes into his room and then like leaves because she was looking for somebody else. But yeah, it was a little goofy, kind of strange at times. Like I think what ruins it is the comedy aspect of it, like where they make like those, like if somebody's like the comedy relief on there, it's like doo, 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 like they add like weird music. It kind of takes you out of it, but I liked it, the role reversal that she was the one, enchanting them and everything, because it's not hard to be enchanted. She's gorgeous. But yeah, I like that about it. I like Charlie, but again, I didn't believe, like, it's like oh yeah, it's made up. You're just gonna drop all that. Okay, sure. But yeah, it was a pleasant surprise. I mean, I definitely don't like it as much as the first one, but I'm glad I finally watched it. But I don't. Is it my pick? I don't know. But I don't really have much to say about it, because everybody's talking. But yeah, it was nice to finally watch it.
All right, copy
So,
that.
yeah.
Jeff.
Yeah, so well, like a lot of you guys, if not all of you, the beginning threw me off a bit because I thought that he was going to be playing it like, oh, like trying to fool the therapist, like Sarah Connor style, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I'm not, that this is all just a hallucination or something. And then when they were playing it, I was like, oh, okay, all right, well, I'll just accept it. I mean, it like the hardest thing to believe, at least they do it right in the beginning. You know what I mean? It's like, so you can decide whether you're in or out, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, what's funny about these two movies, I'm not really going to compare them right now, but I did want to mention for both, there's just a lot of weird shit in them. And I made a list of just like weird shit in the movie that I liked. Like it was weird, but I liked it. The vampire and the rollerblades, or the roller skates, I should say. That really was. That was the first moment where I was like, okay, this movie's classic. Okay, all right, I'm in. Like they're having fun with this, but it's still kind of scary, there was a dance between Charlie and Regine at like a party.
Yeah.
It was like their first like sensual dance, and that felt like it came out of nowhere. And I was like, oh, that's stupid. And then I was like, damn, I'm a little like what's this doing to me, man?
Jeff, did you have a little pause break? What happened?
So I went back to it, and then one moment I really loved was when his name's Louis, the guy with the long hair. He was walking. Somehow he got the Charlie's girlfriend out on a date. He's like, hey, do you got a ticket? Ended up on a date with her. And on the way back to the like out of the venue, there was a dog barking at him. Like the animals know you're evil. The guys who are hiding they're evil are actually evil, kind of trope. And he wanted to shut the dog up. So while she wasn't facing the dog anymore, he looked back and he made like a like that werewolf face came right out. Yeah. And I was like, oh shit, okay, that was pretty funny. And the dog's like, hey. There was of course Bosworth, the big dude, him just eating moths. There wasn't just one moth eating. It was like that was like a thing,
You said Bosworth?
Yeah, his name's Bosworth.
That's the character's name.
That's the character's name.
I was thinking about like Brian Bosworth.
Yeah.
Well, the best thing about that is when he's actually naming their scientific names as he's eating them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, there was the bowling montage, like we already mentioned. I fucking love the bowling montage, and Alex's just that form is. I love it. Another level, And there was one little tiny moment. I don't know if you guys caught it, but it was out the girlfriend Alex's when she was I think she was in the library. She was like speed reading.
Mm-hmm.
Always doing this.
And I was like, what the fuck? It looks so weird. It was like, it's like nothing gets on my nerves more than speed, like the speed reading thing in movies. Maybe Phenomenon did it the worst. You know what I mean? I think he was just literally like.
Right. Oh God, yeah.
Your input.
Johnny Five.
Yeah. And I think just overall, I had fun during the movie, like you said, Samurai. It was a wacky movie, like surprisingly wacky, and I kind of liked that. But I was really stoked when the third act hit. I felt like it had a really strong third act and like climax and everything. Like I was like fucking in. Like one thing I love Charlie's look at the end. There was one point where it looked like he had like a scarf, so he kind of looked like the Starbucks hipster. That's turned into a badass, and I was like, man, that's actually a really cool idea. Turning that guy into an action star. So I really, really love that. So yeah, I think overall, it was a fun movie, and I think if anything, it didn't hold my attention like the whole time. It was kind of a little in and out of like enjoyableness, but it was still fun.
Yeah, copy that. This scene right here, I it felt off.
Oh,
to me.
that one, dude. Oh, yes.
It felt off. Like it was like,
That's-
okay,
Dude,
he's a vampire, and then he kills himself. I was like, what?
Well, the weirdest
Yeah.
part was when it first got it lodged in, and he's like, "Oh, ooh." Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's-
Yeah, it reminded me of the I forget the actor's name, but you guys saw the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie.
Oh, yeah,
the
Pee-wee,
vampire
Pee-wee.
towards the end. He was like,
Yeah.
It was one of those moments, you know.
It was
But
great.
that worked in that movie, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
didn't work in this one though.
It felt really
Well,
weird. But
It was like he changed his mind from biting her in 5 seconds. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'll kill myself now." I was like, "Huh?"
Yeah.
But it's just a nitpick. Dude, before I pass it to Chaos, Brian Thompson's death at the end is fucking phenomenal.
Mm.
Dude, just getting sliced open and all those
Oh,
bloods he ate,
dude,
all the bloods he ate just start bursting out of his stomach and his whole body shrivels in the same shot, dude. That was
disturbing.
awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was the best kill.
Really good.
All right.
Book. And also, real quick before we go, when Lewis died, Charlie shoots him through the window, and he falls down. He's the only one I think that gets like a good one-liner, right? Bullseye, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Copy that. Chaos, Fright Night.
Well, both these movies were sort of my idea because I think both films are completely underrated sequels that people need to revisit. I loved them the first time I saw them, so it's gonna be hard to pick a winner, to be honest. But in Gear Brothers, maybe you're with me on this or not, but this is a great script. This is just a really well put together script.
Oh
no.
That he was struck down by Zeus for saying that.
Silence.
I did it. I hijacked it. Sorry.
let me look out for him. Here, I got him back.
I don't know what happened. Was that me? Was that just me?
It wasn't me. It was just you, bro.
Anyway.
We thought someone was knocking on your dorm room door and wanting to say that.
Yeah, exactly. Regina's here. I gotta go. Look, this is a really good script. Completely new creative team. Tommy Lee Wallace and his people came in, and you could tell these people really loved the first movie. It feels like the first movie. Sometimes you get a sequel with a whole new team, and it feels very different. This is kind of like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 of Fright Night. In a way, it's a lot goofier than the original.
Yeah, good call.
But you could even say Texas 2 is way more different than Texas 1. Whereas Fright Night 2 feels very much in keeping with the first movie, which I appreciated. One thing you have to realize with the sequel, gone is the Hitchcockian Rear Window thing. Is he or isn't he a vampire? We fucking know vampires are real, bro. We don't need to go into the mystery of it. Let's just have fun with the concept of vampires. And this movie embraces that. Now, the thing about the psychiatrist, I know that does sound weird, but we discussed his death and that he is a vampire. My feeling is he was always a vampire. He wasn't turned recently by Regina. I think he was always a vampire. And when he was having sessions with Charlie, he was vamping him out, psyching him out with his powers and sort of brainwashing him. So, if you see if you see it from that angle, then it's like, okay, that makes sense that Charlie would sort of be, oh yeah, you're right. Maybe there wasn't any vampires.
That is cool. Like he was hypnoptizing him kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of cool, actually.
Yeah. So then when Regine comes in, he's like primed, he's not on guard for weird stuff, Again, this movie's got a lot of layers that if you really look at it, it's pretty fascinating. Again, it is a lot goofier, but I think they're just having fun with it. They love the concept, they love the characters, and they're just gonna go. And I think I'm glad they brought in werewolves. I love that they brought in John Grimes. I'm a big Monster Squad fan, so I think maybe that's why I really like this movie, because he's like, who's a good werewolf? Oh, that Monster Squad guy. I don't know which one came first. Let me look that up. Actually, I'm not sure which one came first, but he is great. He's such a good actor, and I love him in almost anything I've ever seen him in.
I think Monster Squad is 87. I think
okay.
I think so, but it could be 88. It's either 87 or 88.
I'm looking that up right now. Monster Squad is 87. Yeah, so there you go. So they saw him and that. They're like, bring that guy in. He's awesome. So I love that. I love that there's that connection to the werewolf lore, whatever, the werewolf cinematic universe. I love what they do with Charlie. You know, here he is victim and hero. I think that's a very interesting choice for the character. Do we have him be the final guy again? No. You turn him into the Amy of this movie, and you have the Amy of this movie, Alex, was the beautiful Tracy Lind. Oh my God, gorgeous. You have her be the Charlie, and you have her team up with Peter Vincent. I love that. What a fun! But then at the end, Charlie is still a hero. You know, he gets to be both. Nobody's is shortchanged here. You know, Peter Vincent has an arc. Alex gets a nice arc. You know, you could argue she has more to do than Amy does. You know, she gets to pretend to be she pulls an Axel Foley to get Peter Vincent out of the hospital and stuff like that. I love that stuff. And Charlie gets to be seduced, and you get to have the sexy vampire lady, which is great. And she does feel like they don't look the same, but you do feel like she could be a part of Jerry Dandridge's family. Like they could be brother and sister. I love it. Of course, obviously he is amazing and his performance is an all-timer. But this movie really embraces the first movie, gives you something a lot more fun, a lot more of a party movie, than the first movie. The first movie is a Hitchcock movie with vampires. Right. This is a fun party movie. You get some popcorn and you have a good time. And the same thing with the other sequel we'll talk about. And I think it absolutely deserves to be at least re-experienced, because there's a lot more going on here. Phat Samurai, you mentioned the Renfield connection, him eating bugs, and then he gets torn apart and he's full of bugs. Holy crap, that's great.
That insane.
Right. They put real thought into it. Again, a sequel. It could maybe go cheaper. It could maybe go more expensive. You don't know what's going to happen. But at the end, we still get practical effects. We still get, crazy bat monsters and shit. I love that. And it doesn't let you down in that regard. It doesn't let you down in where's Charlie now? Where's Peter now? I think it's a great sequel, and it makes me happy every time I watch it. And I kind of wish they made a third one, but at least we have two for this universe. So that's my thoughts. I'm a huge fan of this movie.
Nice.
And I agree, Chaos. I do think surprising amount of layers. Like in my head, I'm thinking Fright Night sequel, and I barely remember it. I don't think I feel like it was there was a lot of layers to it. I don't think everything was pulled off exactly, as echoing what we've all said. I mean, obviously I don't think it really touches the first one, but it's a different feel. I agree. This is more of a party movie. Fright Night is definitely, it's got a fun vibe, but this really stretches that. But yeah, I agree with you.
And I heard Roddy Chaos he really wanted to do a third one.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, it's such a fun character. I can't imagine why he wouldn't want to.
Yeah. What was he saying?
He's great.
What was he saying in the bar? I kill vampires.
Yeah.
Say that over and over.
He's amazing. He's amazing. I went to, this is a weird aside, but I went to some, I think it was some prop house or something, and I was getting a tour. And they said, "Oh, this is Roddy McDowall's bathroom," and they had like a little room. And I'm like, "Why do you have Roddy McDowall's bathroom?" And I'm like, "Oh, it was just he made this really fancy bathroom with like stained glass windows and stuff." And somehow they were able to remove it from his house. He donated this like ornate bathroom, and I don't know, maybe it's not a prop house, maybe it was like a museum or something. But they had Roddy McDowall's bathroom, so I got to sit, on the same toilet that Roddy McDowall took a poo, every day. So I feel pretty connected to him,
I love it.
Amazing. All right, let's go travel forward in time to the 90s. An American Werewolf in Paris, 1997. That's right, directed by Anthony Waller. Plot synopsis. An American man unwittingly gets involved with French werewolves who have developed a serum allowing them to transform at will. Sure, IMDb. Thank you for the basic version there. That's IMDb, man, with the plot synopsis. Yeah. He gets involved with some French werewolves. That's it. They're just hanging out. That's it. I remember seeing the trailer for this in theater, and you have that end shot of the trailer where she lifts up the girl lifts up her shirt, and it's just werewolf hair underneath, and he's skinny, right? And I remember everybody in the theater laughing hysterically, and some were clapping, and I was like, "This looks like a lot of fun." And I didn't get a chance to go see it in theater. My buddies did, and all my buddies hated it. They all hated it. They were like, "Dude, the werewolves are like shit. Fucking ruined the whole movie." So ever since they told me that, I stayed away from it. I just lost interest to watch it until it came on like rental. And so then I rented it. And I do remember having fun with some of the moments in there, but I still was, even at the time, disappointed with the CG. And it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. And I was kind of like, with it. 5 billion years have passed now. I am a silver fox. That's right. So I have not went back to this movie since, and until a couple of days ago. Dude, this movie's fucking fun, bro. This is a fun movie, and yes, the CGI is not great, but I was going to get a poster of the film. Next time I'll make sure it's in StreamYard. But there's a movie I always use as an example where everything is great. Acting, script, directing, everything is great. Until the very end, they show a monster, and it's the worst CGI looking piece of shit. Destroys the rest of the movie for me.
Oh, you mean it's not Werewolf Castle?
No. You're funny. No, it's another movie. I'll find it and I'll let you guys know what it is next time. But I always use that as an example because I was invested in the characters and the plot. And as soon as the CGI looking piece of shit Sci-Fi Channel showed up, killed it. It killed it because throughout the whole movie they were very smart with practical effects and not really fully showing the monster, and it worked perfectly until they went Sci-Fi Channel. It killed it. But that didn't happen again watching this for me. I was like, I remember the CGI not being great, so I was mentally prepared for that when it came on screen. But man, I had so much fun with American Werewolf in Paris. I was very surprised how much I enjoyed it watching it again. Now maybe you badasses here might know the answer. Now, the practical effects and the design of the werewolves is actually pretty good. So do we know why? Was just the technology not there? I know Jurassic Park came out in 93, but do we know why? Was it a budget issue? Does any of you guys know why the CGI was not good?
I would guess it's something like with the Thing remake, where the producers just didn't like the way the practical look came across, and they just just do computer over it. I'm guessing that's what happened.
Okay, because this is rough.
Yeah,
this is rough. This is rough. I gotta be honest. This is rough.
Yeah, well, and Jeff and I talk about it all the time. There's like 90s. There is a period in the 90s where the CGI. It's like, yeah, it's hard to go to Jurassic Park as early as it was because somehow they just pulled off what they pulled off there, and I mean, not a lot of other movies from that era really pulled it off. I mean, I think there's a long dirge in between.
Lost in Space.
Oh, big time.
There's some really good effects in that movie.
Okay.
And then later you're like, whoa, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
In terms of CGI.
Yeah, so it's a problem with 90s CGI. It's like it kind of popped. It's what kind of hurts, in my opinion. Well, because it's when we everyone was so quick to kind of move away from practical, and there was sort of like, it's the gold rush, and they all kind of went there. And I think that's why, and ironically, what ended up happening at the same time is CGI actually got better at the same time that enough people said, man, I miss freaking practical effects, and then practical started coming back. So we do kind of have the best of both worlds now, where CGI mostly looks great and practical is there. When we just made a movie where that was an enormous focus, and it took a lot of work and a lot of time, but that's just what our aesthetic choice was. But that's I think it's a problem with a lot of 90s CGI heavy movies. It's a problem,
Yeah. Copy that. Really quick, since I got all of you guys here, really quick, let's just go around. If you guys can remember, if not, we'll keep going.
Yeah.
What was the first movie, the first time you realized bad CGI? Like you were like, what the fuck is that? And you were like, do you remember what movie? I have mine.
I think for me would probably be The Relic.
The Relic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the
Great
first thing
book.
that pops in my head.
I like
book,
that movie.
bad
I like
effects.
That movie was actually really good.
Yeah, but no, I understand what Tony's talking about. Yeah, the CG.
Yeah.
What about you, Jeff? Darren, can you guys remember the first time you're like, what is that?
Yeah, I don't know about a first one, but because I feel like when CGI was coming out, I was still pretty young. I was buying it. You know what I mean? And I know I was buying bad CGI because when I went to watch, I would have fond memories of these movies I grew up with, and I go back and watch them, and I was like, holy shit, the effects in this are awful. I was so immersed when I was a kid, like Under Siege 2. I was like, that felt like a really realistic movie to me, like a train, an action train film. And when I rewatched it recently, I was like, dude, this is like almost unwatchable because of how bad the CGI is. Thank God Steven Seagal is just so great that you can get through the movie. But
Someone mentioned Mortal Kombat 2. That's probably about
that's
something.
Another one. Corey Cunningham. What about you?
Well, let's see. My mind is a little jostled because I just got picked on by a marching band. But gosh, I honestly don't remember. But the only thing that comes to mind is Wing Commander. I don't know if anybody remembers that.
Oh, I saw that in theater.
I was like, this is a cool cast. You got Matthew Lillard, Freddie Prinze. This should be fun. Terrible, God, no.
And I was a fan
that era, dude. Matthew Lillard and Freddie Prinze Jr. They were the greatest when I was a kid.
I was a fan of the games, and it was from the guy who did the games, did the movie. He's like, how does that fail? So anyway, mine is The Mummy Returns, when the fucking Rock came out as that horrible thing, and he was doing the Rock eyebrow, and it was. I was in the theater going, that fucking sucks. Yeah.
Yes, you're right. The Mummy movies had rough that year. That's the roughest I can remember realizing it in the moment. It was horrible. Yeah.
That's a good call.
That was bad.
Thank God that Tom Cruise saved The Mummy for us, because he really made the most realistic mummy movie ever made.
I liked that Mummy movie. I did. I actually dug it. Dude, Russell Crowe was in it, dude. He was like the Mummy.
Yeah.
He was the best part.
Or whatever.
Russell Crowe was the best part of that movie.
I can't remember it exactly.
You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
The funniest part in that was when Russell Crowe was talking to Tom Cruise, and he goes, "You, a younger man." Like, stop. What is he, like 10 years younger or 5 years younger? Than
not even, man. I think they're probably the same age. I don't know.
They're probably. But anyway, back to the movie. I had just a huge fun time rewatching it. I can forgive when you can get entertainment somewhere, you can find it, whether it's comedy or gore or just the script, the characters. You can find entertainment somewhere. You can forgive the special effects not being that great. But I had a blast with it, and it has some similar beats from London, but it felt like its own thing. So, but yeah, had a lot of fun. Jeff, Paris.
Oh man, woo! No, Paris.
Crackle.
Now here's the thing: I was going into this expecting to really hate it. Now, I'm not going to say that I'm going to save my final opinion for the end, but like I said with Fright Night 2, both of these movies had me going, okay, I need to just put down all the weird shit going on in both movies to try to, kind of weigh it out, because the weird shit is what was making it really fun for me watching these two movies. I gotta say, the bungee jumping scenes really stood out to me, okay, as being like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, are these guys supposed to be like a Daredevil team? Like, but you never see any other real Daredevil stuff except the bungee jump in the beginning. And then, when he catches her in the ride back up, like, I was like, oh man, this looks rough.
Yeah.
And then the movie closes with the bungee jump scene, like where they're getting married or whatever, and that was fucking awful too. But it was awful in a way that, like, it made, like, I was like, oh man, I wish I had 5 other friends with me right here so we could like laugh at this and enjoy it, So that's why I kind of put it in the weird shit category, because it's not like it was bad. It was kind of good bad,
Yeah.
And man, there were really like a few scenes that just, when I was all by myself laughing my ass off watching this. The bungee scenes were one. The second one was that cafe scene where the condom chewing. So he pulled all the condoms. Why did he have
new gum?
he had a million condoms in his pocket? But that's not even the dumbest part. The dumbest part is he goes, oh, it's chewing gum. And then puts one in his mouth, starts chewing it. She goes, why don't you blow me a bubble? And he's all, and it comes out the condom. And I'm going, okay, this is really stupid. But then it gets so big, it falls off his mouth and it starts floating around the room, lands in a guy's coffee.
Yeah.
And then, but get this. Now, there's a purpose for all this. There is a purpose. The purpose is that guy gets pissed off at Andy, and she goes to defend him by kicking this guy's ass. And of course, that's the moment Randy's going, wow, how did you get so powerful? So look, there was a rhyme and reason to that scene. But I like when that condom was farting around the room, dude, I was like,
that was a great scene.
Oh man. The other one that was just as ridiculous as that one was the bar scene. Always around eating in public, it seems like they really hit home runs in this movie. The other one was he's in a bar eating steak. It's like, I asked for rare, it's not rare enough. He's all eating it, and then that very good looking woman is over there sitting at the bar, and he's like, I guess he can smell her, which is already, it's just kind of like, this is kind of bizarre. Like, is she on her period?
He was like in heat or something.
Like, I didn't know, like, he smells the blood. That's why I was thinking. But that was not the angle. The angle was just that he smelt a very pretty woman. So he walked over to her on all fours.
Well, I don't know. Well, Jeff, I don't know. The camera does a pan down.
Oh, yeah, true.
I mean, it's.
Is it that she is on her period?
I don't think that's what it was. Your mind is way thicker than everyone else. I mean, only you would take it there, man. Jeez Louise.
No, but get this. He gets over to her and throws him. He goes and sniffs her ass, but I guess that's what he did. He puts his head under her skirt and then like kind of does like a dog, right?
Yeah,
and I was
sniff ass.
But I was like,
you say hello.
Like, that's so weird. And then
it's all's forgiven when she said, "Oh, you're American."
Oh my god!
Oh, you're American. They got. Oh, you're cute. I'm gonna forget that you just like sniffed my ass without even saying hello to me. I mean, I was like, dude, this movie is.
Well, and where were they having sex? Where was that sex scene taking place? I'm like,
graveyard. It was
cemetery,
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I was like, what is this? I didn't even follow that. Okay.
Yeah, I forget somebody's tomb. I'm blanking on the name now.
Morrison, I think.
Morrissey, yeah.
Right.
Jim Morrison's grave?
Morrison, yeah.
Lord.
That one. I love the scene where his friend Chris, and Chris, of course, he might get an MVP scene. That's not Chris. That's the other friend.
I clicked on the wrong photo.
This is one that gets stuck in the.
He gets his shirt off immediately. That dude, yeah.
Shirt off immediately, right?
Well, you guys mean Anthony Kiedis, right?
Yeah, Anthony. That's who he looks like, dude. He's a yoked Anthony.
I was like, where's Flea? Is the whole band in there?
And the thing about him was he was always like, never in a movie have I ever been so mystified. Like, what the fuck are they doing off screen? But like, you know, like this friend Chris is like always kind of creepily showing up in places. Like he's in the bushes, like, hey, bro, like you gotta get out of there. He's like, where like, you know, and then he's like, when they go to the cafe to have that little date, it's like he's hanging out with them. Like he's like, this guy's trying to get, get laid, and for some reason he thinks it's going to help him to have his friends with him. Look at Seth Rogen there on the left. Seth Rogen. Yeah, but what I was going to get to was when there was like a big breakout of the church, like towards the end, and as Chris is tied to the crucifix, running out.
Yeah.
And the priest sees him, or I think it's a priest, and they get a cut of him just going. Like it's Jesus coming out of the from something. I don't know what was going. I don't know what the thought was, but I loved it. It was good. And I gotta say, let me give a little backstory just before I finish on like where I was at when this movie came out. I was way too young when Fright Night 2 came out. I was like 1 year old. But when this movie came out, I got to tell you, this is a little embarrassing to admit, Darren. I think you know what I'm going to admit here. One of my first favorite band I can remember was No Doubt, but my second one was Bush. It was Bush, man. I was all over 16. Was it 16 Stone? Is their first record?
Yeah.
No shame in that. It's fine.
Razor Blade Suitcase. You know what I mean? I was all over it, dude.
It's no Motley Crue, but hey,
mouth.
Yeah, dude. And I got it. When this movie came out, I was kind of like, I don't know if I like this song. Like, I was like, where's Bush going? You know, it's like electronic. It's not raw.
Where's Bush going?
And it was a little annoying, but it is a soundtrack movie. It is, you know, it was in that tradition. And but the only song I think I really liked, maybe I'm ashamed to admit this now, but I don't have guilty pleasures. I don't allow myself. I'll be proud of them. Was Smash Mouth's "Walking on the Sun." Near the beginning. I still enjoy that song a lot.
Somebody.
Not that song. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say about it. I really enjoyed it.
All right, copy that. Tony the Tiger.
I believe I saw this in the theater back in the day, and we were talking about the CGI. I remember thinking like, back then it didn't bother me because, you know, it was new. It still kind of looked crappy, but it was like still neat, you know, and brand new. Watching it now, I watched it on I believe I watched it on Tubi, and it was pretty cleaned up, and it just looked like shit. Like it looked so fucking bad. Like I could not like get past that. Like they looked terrible. Look at the transformation in the original one, how cool that was, and you know, and then you go to this fucking dog shit.
There you go, Tony. There you go.
Yeah. Come on.
Ugly.
Like PS2 graphics.
Yeah, you're right. PS2 graphics. It's just shitty. I remember from watching it a long time ago, I remember him jumping off and hitting his head, and I thought to myself, there's no way he's going to live. Like, he probably would have crushed his brains in, but he lived. And I definitely like the nurse from the original one more than this girl, but this girl was more of a badass. The other one was kind of crybaby.
Right.
I totally forgot about the other group of werewolves. Like, I forgot the whole point of this movie. And I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the movie. Like, there's some parts that are okay, but I think the whole comedy, he bothers me. I like him as an actor, but I don't like him in this movie. I liked him in Dead.
That Thing You Do.
Yeah, That Thing You Do. Dead Man on Campus.
Oh, right.
I liked him in all them movies. But there's something about it in this, and his voice sounded weird in this. I don't know if it was me or Tubi, but it just didn't sound like him.
Yeah,
he was
Tubi.
annoying. His friends were annoying. I love the '90s, but the clothes were so cringy.
Oh yeah.
It brings me back when I'm just like, oh my god,
That's super baggy. Everything's super baggy pants on everybody. Yeah,
flannels, a lot of layers.
flannels.
Yeah.
Yep. The hair, like the guy on the right, his hair.
Yeah.
That hair is so nice.
Oh, it was so cringy. But I did enjoy the soundtrack because I like the '90s music with and Walking on the Sun. I'm there saying, "It ain't no joke," and I have a guilty when that comes on, or like, "Hey man, you're an all-star," I will sing it.
Yeah,
I can't help it. I think of Mystery Men though when I hear that song. So
yeah,
it helps.
Yeah.
But yeah, the movie overall, I didn't really enjoy it as much as I thought I was going to.
Okay.
Not all of it is shitty, but I thought, man, this is a shit movie. And I think what does that make sense? I think what killed it though is the CGI for me. I think I just couldn't get past that because I didn't believe it.
Okay.
The original one was scary as shit, and these are just like you said, PS2 characters.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I got to see it again because I thought I liked it in the past, and I always hate taking that risk of if you hate something now,
It happens,
Yeah.
when you revisit something after so many years, you'll be like, God damn it, I like this, or why didn't I not like this? It happens. So
Right.
I thought we were going to see more of the mom, but we only saw the mom in one scene, and then that was it.
Jumps right out the window.
That was funny.
That was the scene where it kind of weird where they had the main character or the woman he was trying to get with. She kept covering her boobs with his hands to calm him down.
I loved it.
It was weird, but I was like,
I'll take it, man. Julie Delpy's boobs, hell yeah.
He was American.
5 stars.
Real quick, sorry, just one more thing. There was a shot where she was taking off her shirt, right? Or no, when she was transforming, and they do a quick cut to where it's like almost her boobs, but they're basically.
Was it this?
Here's my question.
Yeah.
Do you count that as a breast? Like if you're counting breasts in a film,
I know what you mean.
Are you going to count those ones? Because it's kind of
when it pans down.
Yeah,
those don't count.
I don't know.
You're basically looking at like dog boobs at that point.
Oh, that's right.
She had like the bottom of their dog boobs, but like
it's like dog boobs. I don't know.
I'll take it.
That was actually.
I think chaos will take Julie Delpy's dog boobs.
I will.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
That was actually pretty clever.
I'm with you, bro. I got you.
A nip's a nip.
There was a longer gif.
I had a guy at bowling once tell me, he goes like, "Look at her," and I'm like, "Look at her." I'm like, and he goes, "It doesn't matter. Tits are tits, man. They're nice to look at no matter what they are." It's like, not that one that we were looking at. You dirty old man, you.
There was a full gif that showed everything. I didn't want to risk it on YouTube just in case.
No, it's
Could you imagine?
Oh man.
Darren.
Okay, so this was an interesting one for me because I had never seen this. I don't know why I missed it, but I just missed it. I think the trailer, I remember seeing the trailer. I think, there was something about it I wasn't feeling. But I gotta agree with Tony. I wasn't a big fan. In a weird way, I thought it was better. That's the thing. I went in with very low expectations, and I felt like there were parts of it that were better than I thought, because there was some layers to it. There was some thought put into it. They did try to mirror some things from the first one, and do a new spin and all of that. But yeah, you know what it was? I don't know if I couldn't get past the cast. That was the hard part. I feel like if it was a different cast, I might have gone along for the ride. Julie Delpy, phenomenal. She was great. She was the She was the one I liked the most, but just the lead and the friends, I agree with Tony. I just, well, and I think the Jeff, you were touching on it. I think it was a weakness in the script and in the overall story that these friends had nothing to do, and they just put. I mean, I don't know where the note. I don't know where her note is, and now they're spending all day looking for this note. Yes, they're following him on his date, which makes no sense. It's like they literally didn't have anything to do, you know. So I think there wasn't a need for them to be in the movie, and a sort of, it was weird. They were there, proto Jackass style, I guess. It was weird. Like, it was just, what are they doing? And in the first place, I don't know. It definitely, it's weird. The tonally, it was strange. I would have these moments where I'd be like, okay, I kind of like this. And then I would just get kind of thrown off, and it might, the lead guy in it, I just didn't. I don't know what it was. I just didn't. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it, and it is one of those ones where, Corey, you were talking about it with Fright Night 1 to Fright Night 2. I agree. I think it's not as boldly as extreme as like what Texas Chainsaw did, and they pulled that off. Because Fright Night 1 had a little of the campiness in it, had a little bit of the humor, and it just sort of expanded it. I feel like Werewolf in London next to this, I think is what really destroys it. It's almost like if it had been not in that lineage, I might have even been a little more fair with it, but it's like when you just sit next to, that original, the tone that Landis nails in that is so singular and awesome, and just, I mean, man, like what Landis pulled off. And then that's the other thing that's hard too, is you're dealing with pretty rough CGI, and then somebody mentioned the transformation in the Landis version is one of the triumphs of all time, and when it comes to practical effects. So it was hard. My brain kept wanting to kind of my brain just kept wanting to compare it.
Coming this summer to PS2.
There we go.
Yeah.
Werewolf Triad Wars.
Is that a real still from the film?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's bad. It looks like a painting, dude.
Yeah, it looks like a painting.
Like a beautiful painting. You're right, like Renaissance.
Yeah. Now, the one thing I will say, I will give it, is that despite all of that negativity I just said, and this logic may seem very weird, but this is definitely my brain when it comes to watching movies, I will say it is watchable. And I will, if it's a movie to throw on if you've never seen it, there is fun elements to it. There's weird elements to it. It is watchable, and kind of one of those movies that I could see sort of, hate watching a little bit and going like, I know I don't like it, but let me throw it on because it's this and that. So I don't know. That's probably about the best thing I could say about it.
All right, copy that. Nubis.
Well, as much as I hate the CGI wolves in this, I can't find myself to hate the film. I just can't. I can kind of, you guys were complaining about the characters in this, and for me, I was in my 20s during the 90s, so the whole like slacker generation, I kind of saw that in the character, so I understood it a little more, I guess. So that didn't really bother me too much. As far as Julie Delpy, she is the best actor in here.
Yeah.
I've loved her since Killing Zoe with Eric Stoltz. I love that movie to death. So I was happy when I saw she was on the tag list for this movie. I did see it in the theater because I was hoping for American Wolf in London, but didn't get that. But Chaos, you mentioned something about how Friday Night 2 is sort of in comparison with Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I kind of see Paris more in line with that than Fright Night 2.
Mm-hmm.
But that works for me because I think that despite the fact that Paris is a little bit further away from London in terms of how they went about it, it's still a lot of fun. Like, it's just a lot of good humor in it. I think I get the humor more in this one than I did in Fright Night 2. Like, I thought that was kind of stale in that movie, which is surprising because I do love the 80s stuff. And I just felt like Paris, unfortunately, is also a little bit more original than Fright Night 2. So that sort of ties in with the whole like sequel aspect of it all. Jeff covered a lot of the funnier bits in this, and I think that's sort of what separates this movie from Friday Night 2 for me. Every character in Paris has like pretty much a fair amount of balance. So Julie might be here, but then the rest of them are all on the same plane. They all have like a little bit of screen time. The guy in the bushes, he has his own little thing going on. Whereas in Friday Night 2, I just feel like that Lind and Carmen are the ones that really carry that film. And it's kind of weird because you would think it'd be McDowell and Charlie's character. Like, you would think they would be the ones carrying the film, and they're not, to me. So it's just really weird. I don't think in the long grand scheme of things, I'm never going to like these movies as much as everything else that, you and I talk about samurai all the time with werewolf movies and stuff. But I don't have a problem with this film. I have a lot of fun with it. It's never going to touch London at all, but for what it is, I can kind of enjoy it. As Darren said, it's just something you can enjoy to a degree.
All right, copy that. Corey.
Well, I think this is way better than the original. No, I'm kidding.
I'm leaving. Screw this.
Corey, I respect hot takes like that. So I was actually going to say, I give you some props, man. If you want to try to argue that,
that's going out on a limb right there.
Yeah. That would be very hard to pull off. No, obviously the original is a masterpiece on many levels. It's a movie I loved, and coming into a sequel, I'm like, I'm excited to see what they do with it, because I really loved the original, and went to see this in theaters with my pals. We were very excited. The soundtrack was all over MTV, and we got the soundtrack, and I think we got the soundtrack before we even saw the movie. Back then they would release it weeks in advance, and you could listen to the music and get hyped up. I go, oh yeah, I know that track, and then the movie starts, and I think. I love this movie. I'll say this right now. I think it's a really fun sequel. Does not hold a candle to the original at all. This is a movie that goes for quantity over quality. Obviously, there's way more werewolf action in this one compared to the first one, which we barely see the werewolf in that. I think you really only see it once, in that big funnel sequence. But that's obviously a more sophisticated movie. There's more drama and there's more character development. There's more things going on in that one. This one is a 90s movie. It's a fun popcorn, it's not as bad as Dracula 2000, but it's in that vein, it's in that vein of 90s kind of excess and madness, but it's not afraid to go there. Like, I really like, the Julie Bowen character is really fun. She doesn't make a lot of sense why she's so super horny with this strange guy, but whatever.
He's American.
It's fun. He's American. So I guess it's understandable. But I really like that they kept new filmmaking team who obviously liked the original movie. They kept the whole thing about the corpses haunting him and, him seeing his friend, decomposing and all that stuff. Then they added the whole layer of like, hey, there's this new serum that can trigger, the werewolfism immediately. And there might be a cure and all this stuff. So there was a lot more to it than the first movie. So there's in comparison, there's a lot more happening in this one story-wise. It's not just a dude who's a werewolf in London. This is a guy who falls in love with this girl. She's trying to find a cure. There's some guys who want to basically destroy humanity. There's a lot more ingredients here, a lot more story stuff here, which is a lot of fun to explore. And I like that because it builds on the mythology. It builds on the whole there's werewolves everywhere kind of thing. And you get Julie Delpy naked, so that's pretty fantastic. I like the cast. I think the cast is really fun. I think this is kind of what really helps the movie, makes it rewatchable for me. I think the friends are really fun.
Did you recognize the sorry, Chaos. Did you recognize the guy that they call Little Seth? He's the one from Rat Race. You remember that?
Yeah.
He's pretty funny, actually.
I don't. Rat Race.
I liked him in Rat Race. I thought he was really funny.
He
really
played opposite of Seth Green
Seth
in
Green.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's fine. I like the cast. I think their chemistry is really good. It feels very organic. It feels like they're really friends to me, and I always look for that kind of genuine performance from actors who are, they're not friends, but they're obviously supposed to be friends. And they felt like they would actually all be friends. An example of people who I don't think would ever be friends is Halloween Ends, the marching band. I don't think any of those kids would be friends. If you've seen that movie, you know what I mean. There's no way that four completely different stereotypes would be friends. I don't buy it at all. Anyway, the cast is great. The story does something interesting. Obviously, the downfall here is the effects. They're awful. They were crap the first time I saw them. And they're still garbage, and that sucks. And that's kind of that speaks to the awfulness of CG in general, and why practical effects will always be good. You can always watch The Thing, and it'll always be impressive. But or the first American Werewolf will always be an impressive movie to show somebody, and this will always be like, that's. But it goes in the Fright Night 2 category of it's just a fun party movie,
right?
I think Jeff was like, I wish I had friends over. It's like that's kind of what it was. It's just a fun, goofy movie where you can kind of laugh at these guys, being idiots, and there's monsters, and the soundtrack is great. It keeps the energy. I will say, compared to the first one, I feel this is a more satisfying movie because it's nicely wrapped up. There's a happy ending, whereas the original film ends boom, and it kind of leaves you in a way like, wait, what the fuck? This one, I feel like you get a nice little wrap up, and it's a kind of a happy ending, and I love happy endings. I think it's nice. You rarely get them in horror movies, and it's not a scary movie, but I think it knows that, and it plays with more of the fun angle than it does the scary angle, which again is why I think it's perfect with a double feature with Fright Night 2, because it's not necessarily a scary movie, but it plays with the fun angle, and it says, hey, here's a version of the story you think but let's have some fun with it. So I'm a big champion of the movie. I know the effects are terrible, but I mean, I just put up with it, I guess. Overall,
well, no, well said. I found the movie. This is the movie I always use it as an example. This is the film right here, and
I don't know that
this movie, the whole movie, acting's good, well directed, soundtrack's good, cinematography's good. And it plays with the legend of the Wendigo, and the whole movie, for the budget that they had, they did the creature effects great. You didn't fully see it. You saw an arm come out and decapitate someone. You saw the feet move. They filmed it in the dark. They had POV shots, but it was done well. You could see the blood, and I bought it. You didn't even have to see the creature fully. And then right at the end of the goddamn movie. What's that one character from Rise of Skywalker? Babu Freak. Fucking Babu Freak showed up. I was just like,
Babu Freak is awesome though.
He's the best part of the movie.
He's the best part of the movie.
This is me watching the movie now. I was just like, God damn it, you were right there, and
does the monster really do that? Hey, it's me, the monster.
It might as well. But I think I figured it out. The difference is this movie took itself seriously from beginning to end, and that's why I was so disappointed.
Right.
Unlike hold on. This movie.
Right.
I like this movie, so I could kind of forgive a few things. But yeah, I agree. It's PS2 graphics. God damn, this is going to be extremely hard for Samurai Guy. I enjoyed both of these films so much. God damn it. So I don't know what I'm going to choose. I always go last anyway. So let's start with Jeff. Jeff, time to vote. Who you got?
Yeah. So, it's a weird one. Let me explain a little bit. Well, one thing I did want to mention, just one more little movie detail thing. I want to see if you guys picked up on this too. There's like in the very beginning in that train sequence, like they were kind of like drooling over this girl that like shows up on the train. And when you see her, I'm not like trying to bag on her looks or like she looks pretty enough, it's not like, whatever, but she just didn't strike me as like, oh, if I was with my buddies, we'd be drooling over this girl. And I feel like the 90s had a lot of that. I don't know. It's just I don't know what it is, but
when the horny blonde who likes Americans because she's American.
Yeah.
Remember Anthony Kiedis later's like teasing his buddy, like, you're gonna go for her? I was like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that chick. You're gonna go for her?
There is that, which is weird because that girl was very obviously very pretty, but the one in the beginning that they were all drooling over, it was kind of like, wait, what? It was like the direct wife or something.
You just got canceled, bro. I can't believe it.
I'm just saying.
Who you got, brother?
Okay. So my method for doing this is I think I didn't think either movie was like a great movie, like a overall super well done film. So I didn't want to sort of like great. If I was going by that standard, I think I would say Fright Night 2. I think that's probably a more well made film from like a technical aspect and all that. But in terms of like watchability, entertainment, is this a movie I'd want to watch again? I gotta go American Werewolf in Paris.
Oh, so
wow.
Which? Oh, really?
That's
American
the one.
Werewolf? Wow.
That's the one I feel like
you faked us out there.
I did a little bit. So I'm gonna go. Yeah, I just even just bungee jump scenes. I mean, just that those just do it. I don't know.
Okay, for entertainment purposes.
Entertainment.
More ridiculous. You have more fun with.
Yeah, like Jack Frost 2 is obviously a worse made film than Jack Frost 1. But I will watch Jack Frost 2 way more than Jack Frost 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm with him.
Now at the end of this movie, if Jack Frost came out, right,
that would have been better.
I pronounce you totally freaking dead. It would be the greatest movie of all time.
It would.
But all right, America. Anubis, can you tally for us, man?
Sure.
Thanks, brother. One for American Werewolf. All right. Tony.
Tony hated both, so I'm curious what he says.
Well, I hated one less.
Okay.
Yeah, they're both pretty bad, but I think when it comes down to it, the CGI is the one that killed it for me. So I'm going to go with Fright Night 2.
All right. We are 1-1, guys. Saying what's up to Mel.
Hey, Mel.
Chat there. My Killer Podcast. Make sure you guys
Mel.
subscribe to her channel. She's got a fun channel. Make sure you guys check it out. All right, Darren. Who you got?
Yeah, I think I got to go Fright Night 2. I just I think it's obvious from my reviews. I thought Fright Night 2 was, like you said, Samurai. I kind of found it to be a bit of a kind of a surprising, underrated gem that I could actually see popping in and kind of just, I dig the vibe. I kind of feel like, wow, there's a movie that is made so 80s in a lot of the good sense that I have never really sat and watched. So, yeah, then I for the reasons I explained, couldn't really get past a few of the things with Paris. But as I said, I think these are two good movies to put up against each other because they are similar in, I think they're very watchable, and there's stuff to chew on in both. There just is. These are fun movies to throw on when you're like, you're doing some chores or something.
All right, we're 2-1. Nubis.
Yeah. Like Darren, when it comes to rewatchability, I just find myself more with Paris than I do with Fright Night 2. Like, I hadn't seen Fright Night 2 in many, many years, so I think that's part of the reason. So if I see American Werewolf in Paris come on TV, and I I just throw it on because I know at least I'm going to get some entertainment value out of it.
Yeah.
And I think that Chaos pointed out about the cast. I agree with him. I think the cast is actually pretty good. There's more balance there, as I said before, than I felt like in Fright Night 2. So Paris is my pick.
Okay. So where are we at now?
2-2.
2-2. Wow. All right. Chaos. Corey. Sorry.
Yes, sorry.
Corey Chaos.
I have to go babysit a kid after this, so hopefully it'll go well. So it's hard because I really like both of these movies, but rewatching them. Oh, by the way, just a quick aside, since Anubis is here and we're talking werewolves, in Halloween Horror Nights, they have a maze this year called Monsters Unleashed, and the twist is that it's Mummy versus the Wolfman kind of thing, and then at the end they turn an Egyptian Anubis into a werewolf.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's how the maze ends. A giant guy comes out and he's got the Egyptian shit. It looks cool. Anyway,
that's awesome.
It looks great.
Look at that.
Right. Anyway, so I love both of these movies. Rewatching them after so long, I still really enjoy them. But there's, the CG really kills American Werewolf for me. Fright Night 2 is just such a solid movie, in my opinion. I just think it's a really, really well done sequel. They really gave a crap. And they really wanted to deliver a movie, not just for the fans, but for people, for themselves. They wanted to make, Tommy Lee Wallace wasn't just a nobody, obviously this guy's been around town. So he wanted to deliver a really good film. And I think it stands the test of time. And I think it should be as appreciated as the first one. So my vote is Fright Night 2.
Wow. I did not see that coming.
Let me down, Chaos.
Sorry, pal.
You had me, man. I was like, oh yes, he's gonna pick it. And I was like, oh
wow.
he was setting us up on that one.
Yeah, because he's like, I love this movie.
That was an emotional roller coaster.
I love both of them. It's hard. It's hard to pick. I almost did a split vote, but I didn't want to make it complicated.
Okay. All right. So god damn.
Just tie it, baby.
No. We got one more. We got to get vote.
Yeah, we got Anubis's vote.
Anubis's vote.
Remember I sent you a video first?
You get an extra vote.
Right.
So what are we at right now? 3-2?
It is 3-2. Fright Night 2 is in ahead.
Fuck. All right.
You like Paris. Come on.
God damn it.
Don't push him into this.
You know what? Damn. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna agree with Jeff. I think as much as I really love Fright Night Part 2, I'd buy it on Blu-ray. I don't see me watching it a lot. I see me watching it and appreciating it for what it is, and then putting it on the shelf. Paris, I can always put in and laugh at how ridiculous it is, and I can get some entertainment out of that. So I'm going Paris.
Yeah.
But we tied it now, so it's up to Joel Valley from Media Glitch.
Oh. He's gonna screw me.
I think Joel. I think he's Team Fright Night. That's what I say.
Okay.
Just remember this: Fright Night 2 has werewolves and vampires.
That's right.
A werewolf.
Joel still hasn't forgiven me for picking Lost Boys over Fright Night. He's still mad.
He hates that.
He's still mad about that. Joel cannot be with us tonight. He's out there doing his filmmaking thing, but he did send this to me. What is it gonna be? Here we go.
On set with these fine people. Everyone say hello. Hello. Okay, so it was Fright Night 2 against American Werewolf in Paris, and you guys know I'm a huge Fright Night fan. But I'm going to have to go with American Werewolf in Paris, and I'll say it because American Werewolf in Paris knows exactly what it is from the beginning. It knows exactly what it is. Yes, the CG is horrendous. It's horrible. It didn't even hold up when it came out. But Fright Night, they put in clips of the first one. They make you think it's all... people are driving by. Makes you think it's going to kind of continue that feel of the first one, but it doesn't, and it's kind of weird. So my vote is for American Werewolf in Paris. What'd you guys vote for? Same? Same. Okay, so there you go, man. Sorry I can't be there, guys. See ya. Bye.
Joel is my boy. He's my boy.
Joel is my new best friend.
Did the video play? Did the winning video play?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I didn't see it. All right.
No,
cool.
it was the wrong one. It was Fright Night. It wasn't Fright Night 2.
Now this is going to blow your mind. Fright Night 2, in comparison to American Werewolf in Paris, is not as known, right?
Mm-hmm.
Check out what the public voted for. First up, shout out to the channel members. We had 4 channel members that wanted to have their own poll. Gotta let them have their voice. It's just 4 channel members, so shout out to you guys. Thanks again for participating. So out of the 4, they voted for Fright Night. Okay. Now the public, again, Fright Night 2 is more obscure. Watch this.
Yep, I expected that.
I am stunned by this.
I'm not.
You're not? Why aren't you stunned?
I think a lot of people really hate American Werewolf in Paris. They really do. Like, I think really with like us here, we're like some of the few that can kind of appreciate some of the nuances with this film. Yeah. Like the CGI is terrible. Like Tony stated it from the get-go. It's just horrible. But I can understand some of what they're trying to do. Joel nailed it. Like, it's like it knows what it wants to do from the beginning. It just knows it.
Yeah.
Right.
And well, you know, Fright Night 2 is like just one of those classic, you know, movies that nobody really talks about, but they do love.
Yeah, but I'm happy that Fright Night 2 is getting some love. Yes. Now, if it went the other way and Joel went Fright Night 2, then we would have went to the public to break the tie. So, but Joel had to go Paris. So, but yeah, this was a blast. Both movies are fun. We highly recommend you guys check it out for sure. Anything you guys need to plug?
All I'm saying is, I just want to say real quick, I'm shocked, honestly, that I'm happy. I love the movie, but I'm shocked that American Werewolf won. Honestly, I didn't expect it to. I honestly thought everybody would go Fright Night, but hey, great. I like them both, so it's a win-win.
It's a win-win for sure. It's a win-win. Darren, before we wrap it up for today, let us know, everybody watching, remind everybody about what's going on tomorrow.
Everybody, tomorrow, The Retaliation on VOD, everywhere you can buy and rent movies, iTunes, Amazon, Vudu, YouTube, Redbox. So if we're talking New York time, that's just in a few hours. So go pick it up, and I think you will really enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
Guess that's my next movie review.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I will be buying it as soon as possible. And Corey, let us know. Remind everybody what to watch and where to watch.
Well, Headless Horseman is out right now. It's on Apple TV and Vudu, Vudu VOD, and it's out of theaters. Today was the last day, but it was nice that it was there, and I got to get at my little ticket to proof that it was there. And then it'll roll out slowly, you know, on other streaming sites here and there, and I'll let Phat Samurai know, so you guys can know he's in the movie and he has an amazing part in it. And it's the start. It's basically his rise to power. He'll be in the Oscars pretty soon.
I'm trying to get to where Mr. Tony of the Dead status is. I'm trying to catch up to Tony, so we'll see what happens.
You got to be in more Cool Duder movies.
People have actually seen the movie you're in, so.
I had fun being in it. Thank you.
Really quick, Corey, do I see a fucking Jake Speed?
Yeah.
Behind you, what is that?
It's like one of those little video store standees.
Hell yes.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time, man. Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look at that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Love it.
We have had Jake Speed movie night a few times with people who have never seen it.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome. It is fucking hilarious. It is
like, did we just become best friends?
I think we gotta have a Jake Speed movie night.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Jeff, have you seen it?
I haven't.
Oh man,
I haven't seen it.
That's it. We gotta do it. We gotta do it for sure. But this was a blast. Thanks again, everybody, for watching. You never know what you're gonna get when you come to Versus. You know, you never know. That's what the excitement. That's what it's fun. But hey, you're gonna want to join us for next week, because next Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific time will be the 50th episode of Versus. That's right, the 50th episode. We got to celebrate. What will be the two movies? I don't know. You guys got to show up to find out. So thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And J. Call enjoyed. A lot of people in the comment section and chat enjoyed watching. We appreciate all you guys. That's right. Everybody's information. That's right. In the description box below to follow Chaos, Tony, Nubis, and the motherfucking Gear Brothers, son. That's right. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Don't you guys go anywhere, but you guys have a good one. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Werewolf Week.